Stand up and face your fears, or they will defeat you. Sometimes loneliness is the price you pay for growth. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Focus on making yourself better, not on thinking that you are better. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less. Not everyone you trust will be trustworthy. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The people who mind don't matter. The people who matter don't mind. You can accept the apology, but you have to remove the trust. You're very hard to control when you're healthy. You're very hard to manipulate when you're clear. You're very hard to influence when you're sovereign. It takes a long time to realize how truly miserable you are, and even longer to realize it doesn't have to be that way. Everyone you love in your life should be a safe space, not more stress that makes you worry or another battle you need to overcome. Your direction is more important than your speed. You may not lead a comfortable life with a single source of income. You need to build others. The walls you build to keep things out are also keeping things in. Have at least one person in your life who gives you honest opinions. Sometimes later becomes never. Do it now. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do but gets you nowhere. No work is beneath you. The only thing that should be beneath you is your big ego. Work hard in silence and show your skills at the job you get, rather than criticizing the job. It's better to be alone than in bad company. If you do not make yourself indispensable, you will be unemployed soon. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. In most instances, obstacles are the way. You are more defined by what comes out of your mouth than what goes in it. Speech gives us the power to create or destroy. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Where fear ends, the strength begins. The first step to getting anywhere is deciding you're not willing to stay where you are. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Betrayal never comes from your enemies. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. If you stopped seeing the world in terms of what you like and what you dislike and saw things for what they truly are in themselves, you would find a great deal more peace in your life. There is no perfect time. You must take the time you have and make it perfect. The best thing about hard times is that you get to see everyone's true colors. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Always take responsibility for your actions, for it is the mark of a mature individual. Your goals are the compass that guides you through the storm of life. If you don't value your time, neither will others. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health. Spend time with the elderly. Their wisdom and experiences are invaluable. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you have caught many from falling. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out, you'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Just because a thought got your attention doesn't mean it deserves your attention. Be around people who feed your soul, not eat it. If you want the present to be different from the past, study the past. The key to happiness is letting each situation be what it is instead of what you think it should be. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. There are two paths you can go by, but in the long run there's still time to change the road you're on. Don't see anyone as your competition. You don't have the same goals, ambition, or brains. You're not the same. If you stay positive in a negative situation, you win. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our expectations. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. It's a part of life. If you are alone for a long time, soon you will accept loneliness. You will never know your potential if you are afraid to be alone. Do not let the things that have hurt you turn you into a person you are not. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. The secret of achievement is to hold a picture of a successful outcome in your mind. Count your blessings, not your problems. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. If you need inspiration, don't do it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Find something you love, something you can lean onto, something that would keep you going. You need something to fall back on when you get depressed. Accept that you are not important to some people and move on. Every time when you are rejected for something good, you are redirected to something better. On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. Remember, some of the best times of your life haven't even happened yet. Take some time today to recognize where you are right now and how hard you've worked to get there, even if you're not exactly where you dream to be just yet. Life lessons won't work unless you do. Don't change yourself just to make someone happy, unless that someone is you. The longer you live in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. There are no missed opportunities. Everything you missed wasn't yours. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes sacrifice. Your life isn't yours if you constantly care about what others think. Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Make sure the choices you make are worth the losses you'll take. Action breeds more clarity than thought, so you can't think your way into a new life, you have to act your way into one. You can make all the mistakes you want, just don't make the same one twice. It's okay if you don't know how to move on. Start with something easier, like not going back. Sometimes you just need to be a bit selfish. Put yourself first and think about what is best for you. Learn to see people for what they are, not what you want them to be. Be humble enough to know you aren't better than anyone, but wise enough to know that you're different than the rest. Until you become comfortable with being alone, you will never know if you're with someone out of love or out of loneliness. People don't decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. The faster you do the things you avoid, the faster you get the good things you want. Accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you cannot accept. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. You think you know someone, but mostly you just know what you want to know. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. If nothing else, some people just teach you how not to be. You can't make anyone love you, and you can't force yourself to love anyone else. Don't burn your opportunities for temporary comfort. Confidence does not come from an expectation of success. It comes from a comfort with failure. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. People will walk in and out of your life, and those you least expect will become past remembrances of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. There are no bad emotions, only bad reactions to them. You have to learn how to channel your negative emotions in a constructive way. People who show you new ways of thinking and new ways of seeing life are important. Your enemies will often tell you the truth because it hurts, and your friends will often lie because it doesn't. Develop a willingness to be disliked. This will grant you the freedom to do what needs to be done, even if it's unpopular. Be brave enough to say what you want to say, not what people want to hear. If someone's absence brings you peace, you won't lose anything. We often overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what is possible in 5. Your past or childhood may be messy, but it's a great force in your future. If it's out of your hands, it deserves freedom from your mind too. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you are not starting from scratch, you are starting from experience. The more responsibility you take, the more you empower yourself to actually do something about that pain. Your friends and family do not always know what is best for you. Loneliness is the price you pay when you start to improve yourself. Don't take people for granted. You never know when they could be gone. You never know how much they mean to you until they're gone. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try and paint a different picture. If you want to feel motivated to do something, take the smallest action towards doing it. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. Hands that were on your shoulder during bad times are more valuable than the hands that clap for you on your success. Forgiving doesn't make the person who hurt you feel better. It makes you feel better. Accept things as they are. Life isn't about living in the past or living for the future. It's about living in the now. People who play roles will eventually forget their lines. Pay attention. You are always responsible for how you act, no matter how you feel. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. Learn to deal with people for who they are, not who you want to be. No matter how good you are, if you are in wrong place, you are worthless. Extraordinary results come from repeating ordinary actions over an inordinate amount of time. You can either choose a happy, conventional and stress-free life, or you can choose a very interesting, but more difficult and meaningful life. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. When you blame someone else for your problems, you're giving them power over you. You're allowing them to define and dictate your happiness and well-being. People start hating you when they cannot control you. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone else, you have already forgotten your value. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. You don't find your purpose somewhere else. You create your purpose exactly where you are, and you bear meaning to it. No single thing will solve all your problems, no goal, no achievement, no relationship. You will always feel mildly inadequate and somewhat dissatisfied with your life. A happy life is not a life without stress. It's a life of meaningful stress. You won't forget some bad things. You just stop caring. Until that happens, don't stress too much about it. It's never too late to do the thing you've always wanted to do. Don't let naysayers discourage you because they may be projecting their own insecurities. The more you love yourself, the more you'll detach yourself from things that don't love you. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. You can have results or excuses, not both. Growth happens when you start doing things that you're not qualified to do. Be smart enough to ask for advice, but be wise enough to know who to seek it from. With time, the more wins with fear you can accumulate, the more fearless you will become. Never make someone a priority who only makes you an option. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things worth feeling good about. A lot of things broke your heart but fixed your vision. Never deny yourself an experience just because it's unknown or uncomfortable. It may just be a defining and wonderful part of your life. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. Your entire life can change in an instant. So instead of passively taking what you have for granted, be grateful for it and do whatever good you can with it. One of the most dangerous things you can do is believe someone's opinion about you. Your relationship with others is a direct reflection of your relationship with yourself. Your tomorrow can be very different from today if you try. Keep thinking about what is not working today, and I promise you that your tomorrow won't either. It's not about having time, it's about making time. You can't always be nice. That's how people take advantage of you. Sometimes you have to set boundaries. Destroy the old you before it destroys you. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Never be so loyal that you betray yourself. You cannot have everything. You always exchange something for something. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. We are defined by what we give up, what we sacrifice, and what we reject. You are merely a reflection of the preferences and demands of the people around you. If you don't decide who you are, other people will decide for you. You grow as much as the amount of truth you're willing to accept about yourself without running away. There is always time. The only question is how long you will make excuses and pretend that it doesn't exist. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. The worst kind of enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Do not discuss your past with anyone because only you know its true story and significance. Others may not understand or even use it against you. When you marry a monkey for his wealth, the money goes, but the monkey remains. The more grateful you are, the more beauty you will see all around you, the more generous life will seem, and the happier you will become. Choose a wife rather by your ear than your eye. If there's something you want to do in life, don't wait. If you do, you might find 5 years have passed without you doing anything. Most of your problems disappear once you start hanging out with smarter, more thoughtful people. Everything comes to you at the right time. Be patient and trust the process. You can't always help. Sometimes you will watch people you love make terrible decisions despite the advice you give them. Learn to earn $10,000 to $53,000 a month editing, just like I do on my YouTube channels. Join our school and get free promotion, monetization guidance and support. Link in bio.